When I heard, I mean, actually, to be honest, one of the first things I did when we were planning our FESPA, I was pushing some information on LinkedIn saying that we were going to be here covering for live. One of the first people that reached out to me was actually Rafa. Right. Is Rafa?
Yeah, Rafa.
Yeah. And Rafa is working for a Spanish company called PLASTGrommet. And when you see, in a moment, we will have a demo, but actually when you see a machine like this, you would have thought there was a lot of people with this kind of technology, but you are almost alone, right?
Yeah, we are actually the only ones showing on FESPA this kind of technology that is trying to solve for customer issues, because we are trying to optimize the finishing workflow. This is always the bottleneck and the pain for the customers. So we are trying to make it a bit more efficient. That's the idea behind.
And if you look at the market, before we talk about the market, basically, when you see all the banners hanging outside in all kind of weather conditions, they need to have some kind of strings to them or something like that. And you're specialized in making sure that you ensure the holes to be.
Yeah, we are specialized.
You probably explain better than me, right? Yeah.
You print the banners, but then you have to make a reinforcement on the edge so the eyelet doesn't get loose. That's where we are. We do a reinforcement with the machine, okay, and then we insert the eyelets afterwards, because nobody wants to have a banner that is going to fall down, because the banner is going to rip off if it doesn't have the correct reinforcement over the edges. Okay.
So, I mean, what if people don't have machines like this? How do they do it then? Is it manual work?
They do it on a manual way.
Okay.
You can have, on one way you can have a welding machine, and then you can take the banner, you have it on the welder, and then you have to roll the banner again, take it to an eyeletting machine. But the advantage of this process is that you have both things together.
Yeah.
So you have hand welding and eyeletting together, plus slitting on the back.
Okay.
So we are putting 3 different processes in line in order to make an efficient process for customers.
And that basically means that with an investment in one of your machines here, you can basically automate a process today that is very labor intensive, right?
Very labor intense and slow.
Slow.
Yeah, both things. Yes.
So it's kind of strange to think of that nobody is really in this market. Is it because they're not exhibiting, or is it because you are pretty much alone?
We are very much alone.
Okay.
And all the developments we are making is because we are following, customer demands. Yeah. Customers, they will come and say, okay, I would like to have whatever. And then our engineers, they try to figure out if it's possible or not, if we can make it viable in terms of economics. And then, from one year to another, we come always with something new, following just customers, not because we are the smartest guys in town.
Tell me a little bit about your history, because how did you get into this market?
Oh, it's a long story. But to make
Bring
it short,
on to me.
we come from the plastic industry, and we were the first ones making eyelets in plastic, not in metal as everybody. We saw that there were some, niche or specific advantages for clear eyelets, as we like to call them. One is that you can see the color printed underneath, so the banner looks much better than with the metal ones. Okay, and also all the recyclability, environmental aspects, that is becoming more and more important for our product. And then we started about 15 years ago with our automatic equipment machines for eyeletting. And then we have been growing together with our customers, trying to automate more the processes. So we started with a fully automatic machine, standalone on a table, and then we came to something as big as this that can make the life for customers much easier. So that's a bit of history.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, coming from making eyelets of plastic to make a machine, that's a step, right?
Long way. Yeah. We had to hire engineers to create an R&D department, but we thought that we needed to control all the process.
Yeah.
Because if you make a product and you don't have the right tooling to insert them or to put them, that is not going to work.
Okay.
So the idea is we try to control all the process, and we offer a customer, a full solution from the consumable that will be the eyelets, and also for the eyeletting equipment. And we have for engineers that they design all the equipment, we do installation, trying to make the life for customers, as easy as possible.
What I would like you to do now, I would like to see a demo.
Okay.
But because you have, we have to save on the environment, so we don't use too much of the software. So before we do the live demo, maybe you explain where you put in the material, what the process is, and then Chica will follow you, and you can just tell what you see.
We can start from this side.
Yeah.
So customers, they will print the rolls, and you need to remove the rolls from the printer,
Yeah.
This is a battery operated lifter.
Yeah.
So it is quite easy to use. You
Yeah.
just go up and down. So you will come from the printer with your roll. You will load the machine.
Yeah.
That will be the first step.
I just have a stupid question.
Okay.
And that is just like when I come to printing companies, they have so many lifts already. Is it because it has a specific need for with the forklift, or is it just to have like a one solution from one supplier, or?
No, we try to have some specific features. For example, this lifter.
Yeah.
We have a system that
These ones?
yeah,
Yeah.
we can have it as it is at the moment in
Yeah.
order to transport the roll safely.
Yeah.
And then we can do this
Yeah.
in order to load the printer easily.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
don't have to leave the roll.
Yeah, yeah.
Others, they will have a platform or something like that.
Yeah.
So this will be the first step.
Okay. So that is basically to make sure that when you have your entire system here, basically
Yes.
you have something that really operates finely
Yes.
with it, right? Yeah. Mhm.
Yes. Okay, and then we come to the machine.
Yeah.
We load the roll,
Yeah.
and then
Is that put in on here, or?
yeah. What we do is we have an air shaft,
Yeah.
same as the printers.
Yeah.
So we load the roll over there,
Yeah.
and then we pass it here.
Yeah.
Okay, and then on this gray part you can see on both sides.
Yeah.
What we do is we start creating what we call the hem.
Yeah.
Okay, we start
Is it-
pre-folding the material.
Is this these ones, or?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. So that basically creates a fold of
It
the.
starts to create the fold. We
Yeah.
have the guide afterwards on the welder,
Yeah.
but that is helping to create the fold. Okay, and then we can go this side if you want, because
Yeah.
we will be able to see it better.
Yeah. I'm already learning, Rafa.
That's good. We do that every day.
Yeah, that is good.
So, okay, we start creating the form here, and then we have the welders, and this will be the welding guide. Okay,
Yeah.
so we press the both materials, and with heat we melt it together. Okay.
So is that something that you would also do in a manual process?
Yes.
So this is actually also a very, very important part, that you basically have that welding
Yeah.
directly on the machine.
Yeah, we
right?
have like three key aspects. One will be the welding,
Yeah.
eyeletting,
Yeah.
and a slitting.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the welding model where we do the reinforcement of the banner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Once the banner is already welded, okay, you can see
Can
it
I ask you a
here.
question? You
Yes.
know, I said I want to learn.
Okay.
I can see on your machines that it's built in modules. Is
Yes.
that basically because you can then customize it to a specific printer's need, or is it because you want to be able to extend it in future with other
The
functions,
idea
or?
behind this is that we have to transport it easily, and
Okay,
also
so
we
it's-
have to assemble it easily.
Ah, okay.
All the machine, we have quick connections in terms of electronics and also pneumatics, and also these clamps. So installation, it takes only 1 day.
Ah, that's
That's
nice.
one of the advantages.
Yeah.
And then we can, when we install a machine like this, we do 1 day installation, and then we do training. That is the key part.
Of course.
Not the installation.
Like
itself.
always, right?
Yeah. And then once we have the reinforcement, we come here. You see that we have some marks printed on the banners.
Yeah.
We
Is
have
that, so that is something that the printer does
Yes.
in the pre-press, basically.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
So we have a camera to read the registration marks,
Yeah.
and what we are reading are the eyeletting marks and also the cutting marks.
Yeah.
Okay, so the system knows where they have to set an eyelet
Yeah.
and when they have to cut.
Yeah. And you have two. Is it because you always trim 2 times, or?
I will show you in a second.
Okay.
But let me point out something.
Yeah.
You see that we have a dot here.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have a cross
Oh,
here.
Yeah.
The reason why we have two different marks is that on this machine we are going to finish the long edges of the banners. Okay. If we set an eyelet here, we won't be able to make the reinforcement on the other machine we have behind.
Ah, so that's why. Okay.
So we have a mark that the camera is going to read it, but it's not going to do anything with it. But we will use that mark on the other
Other
machine,
machine.
for the operator to know where they have to set the eyelet. Okay.
Okay.
We
Let's
come
check
here.
that afterwards, right? So we
Correct.
can- yeah. Yeah.
So we come here and we have two multi-press eyeletting machine, okay, that they are controlled by the camera.
Yeah.
So they know exactly where they have to set the eyelets
Yeah.
on both sides at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have the welded edge, we have the eyelets.
Yeah.
And
But
then
before
we-
we move on, I'm a little
Yes.
curious because I thought this was so analog, but then I see a very nice computer screen here, right?
Yeah, and I mean everything is easy to use, and
Yeah.
also one of the advantages we have is
Yeah.
that we can connect to the machine from our factory. So if you have any kind of
So if you're
problems, or
remote, you can
engineer
basic-
remotely,
Ah.
they can change the marks you need to read, and they can, sometimes the manufacturers of the engines, they will tell us, you have to do, the firmware, you have to update it. So that is possible to do everything remotely from a factory in Alicante. So we don't have to travel, which is an advantage.
Yeah. Unless it's for good wine and good food.
Always.
Always, yeah. Okay, so now we're at the end of the machine.
We are here on the end of the machine.
Yeah.
So we have what we call a double cutting system.
Yeah.
Instead of having a single knife, we have a set of 2 different knives.
Yeah.
Okay. And what we do is the camera is going to read these marks,
Yeah.
and the knives are going to cut here and here.
So on
we
the
do
outside
this.
of each. So and the distance to the line, is that set by software or?
Yeah. It's fixed.
Yeah.
But the advantage of this is that there are no visual marks of cutting marks on the banner.
On the banner, yeah.
So
because the banner can move a little bit.
Yeah,
and,
we leave the banner, the marks inside.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and then on the finished banner, you have no marks.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yeah.
We made this following, some customers that at the beginning we were using a single line,
Yeah.
and then we were cutting right in between,
Yeah,
so you were
yeah.
able to see the mark in one
On-
banner and on
on
the
the
other.
other, yeah.
So our team
So
designed.
double shit, basically.
Yeah.
You can say that, right? So let's see the machine. But
Okay.
before it runs, I'm just one more question. So
Okay.
how fast is it?
Very fast.
Very fast.
Just to give you an idea, a 50-meter
I mean,
roll.
I like that answer. That's a salesman's perspective, right? So it's very fast. As
It
fast
is very
as you want it,
fast.
right?
No, it is very fast, because just think about how much time you are going to invest when you need to make welding, eyeletting, and slitting manually.
Yeah.
A 50-meter roll, it will take about 7 minutes to get finished with all
70?
no 7
7 minutes.
with all the 3 different processes.
In manual? Or
I would say 3-4 hours at least.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
because actually, one of the advantages is not that we are only putting things together
Yeah.
in order to be more efficient,
Yeah.
is that we don't have to move the banners from one place
to
another.
the next one,
So,
So basically, you can say with that speed, and of course there's some investment to it, it's mainly a question about how much you produce daily in
Yeah.
order to justify the investment, right?
we have customers that they produce, they print 24 hours,
Okay.
and if they don't have this kind of system, they
Yeah.
won't be able to finish
Precisely,
manually their jobs.
Yeah, because if printers are getting faster and faster, if they have to still
Just
manually
we
do
have
things.
customers that they are using 5-meter printers,
Yeah.
and they are printing multi-roll with 3 rolls.
Yeah.
So that's a huge output. End of
Can
the
you
day.
can you do different widths or is this the
Yeah.
width? Okay, so you
We
can,
manufacture the machine in 3 different widths.
Yeah.
We do it in 1.6,
Yeah.
2.4, and 3.2,
Yeah.
but we are always adjustable. So
Okay.
we can
you can always go smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's see it run, right?
Okay. Ruben, we are ready to go.
So you're the one that is clicking the start button?
Yes.
Fantastic.
He's our head of engineer,
Yeah.
so he's the one that designs all our equipment.
So we have to move it, follow the process from the beginning, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
So you see that we are creating the hem
Yeah.
on the gray part.
Yeah.
Then the material gets pre-folded to the welder. What we do here is we accumulate the material because we have to stop the banner for eyeletting, but we don't want to stop the welding. Okay, we want
Okay,
to
so there's
weld all
like a
the way.
buffer basically.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you put all in the eyelets in the number
Yes.
one, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you have eyelets and washers, and then the machine will fully automatically supply them. Okay. And then this will be the output.
Pretty amazing, right? I mean, if you look at it.
Now we see that there is a cutting mark coming over.
Oh yeah. And that was
This is what we are going to use on
Yeah,
the other
other
machine
machine,
to
yeah.
set the eyelets on
Yeah.
the short edges.
Yeah. So basically, here we are, and we have the
Yeah, we have what we call the seam or the hem,
The hem, yeah,
the
yeah,
reinforcement end
yeah.
of the day, because
Yeah.
otherwise,
Yeah, it will
if you
just
pull,
tear the-
it will
yeah,
tear the
yeah.
material.
and I mean, this is now. Is it some kind of vinyl or?
Yeah, this is vinyl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can it do on different substrates, or is it
Yeah.
mainly okay?
Yeah, we can do mesh, we can do
Yeah.
PE,
Yeah.
we can do PVC.
Yeah. See, I cannot figure out how to fold it correctly. See, that's how stupid a journalist is, right?
No.
So at least I can do interviews and
No, but
asking
we
stupid
always try
questions
to-
for you, right?
We have color vinyl because you can see. I mean,
Yeah,
they
you
are
can see
almost
through it.
invisible.
Yeah. And what about, because I mean, everybody's talking about environmental impact. Is that something that you have been maybe using in, I mean, what is...
Yeah, what we use is, we use 75% raw material and then 25% is recycled already, because we have a zero waste production.
Okay.
And also, these kind of files, they can be recycled. And also with PP and PE banners, they can be sent to the same waste stream, so there is no need to separate them.
Okay.
So that's an advantage for many customers.
Yeah. And of course, if you have a vinyl banner like this, you still have to, I mean, to put it in some kind of good recycling thing.
I mean, the banners are, PVC banners are, they have the problems to recycle, but when you have this kind of files, it is always easy compared with the metal ones.
Yeah. Let's go and check the last.
Okay, let's go to the other.
So now you take these banners.
Okay, so what we have done here is we have finished the long side of the banners, and then we have to finish the short sides, okay? So what we have here, it is a different machine, but with the same concept. So we have a welding machine together with an eyeliner, but in a smaller scale, okay? So this will be the banner we have just finished, and then what we are going to do is to finish the short edges, okay? Ruben, whenever you want. We are setting the eyelets on the corner. This is the eyelet that we didn't set on the other machine, because otherwise we won't be able to make the folding. Okay.
Okay, so that's the end of the...
Yes, it will be the end of the banner. Let's say.
Yeah, okay, I understand that. Yeah. So basically, when you sell this, if you want to have full productivity, you would basically need to have two machines, right?
Sometimes the customer, they will use their existing equipment to finish the short edges, but thinking about efficiency, it will be better to invest in this kind of machine, because we are putting together two different processes. Yeah. Obviously, you need an operator here.
Of course, yeah.
But it is always
But on the other hand, since this is so automated, you don't need an operator doing that, of course, right? I was just wondering, we spoke about before that it to some extent requires a certain volume before you can justify the investment. How big or how much production should you have before it's worthwhile looking into?
When we think about the big machine, we call it all-in-one. It is not really the amount of banners you make on a monthly basis. It's that if you have banners that are repetitive in terms of width, that's when it makes sense. If all your banners are different, it doesn't make sense because you will have to adjust. But if, for example, you make like for one customer 200 banners, for another one 500, as we have many customers doing that, that's where it really makes sense in terms of efficiency. Because this is so fast compared with the traditional method. Okay.
Fantastic. And how is it business-wise? I mean, you're like 35-person company. And,
yes.
Is it growing, or how is it? You said there was a change post the COVID that
what we see is that customers are demanding more automation. The amount of quoting we are doing at the moment, I mean, without having been in FESPA yet, is amazing compared with other years. We just hired, 2 more engineers at the factory because we have to cope, with the orders. And when the customers they decide to make an investment in this kind of equipment, they want it right now. Of course. Because they have the jobs.
Of course.
They don't want to wait 6 or 7 months in order to get the machine delivered.
And can you deliver fast, or?
Let's say that on normal times before COVID, they were 3 months. And now it is run about 4. But we are creating a new process that we will be able to deliver machines in just about 2 months.
When I look at a machine like this, it seems that there's a lot of iron work in different shapes and bending, things like that. I think take that as a lot of processes developing, going into making the product, right? Or
one of the, let's say, secrets of our company is that we design all the equipment. Everything you see here, it has been designed by our engineers and assembled by us. We don't have CNC equipment, laser cutting. We subcontract those parts, but all the design, that is the key part of the process, we do everything. And we have very experienced people with background in, laser cutting and things like that. So when we design something, we know from the beginning how it has to be made in order to be cost effective. Okay.
Fantastic. Rafa, I think it was great meeting you. I think it was great to learn.
Thank you for coming, really.
Have you seen anything like this, Chica? I don't think so, right? No? He's shaking, nodding his head. So
thank you for your time.
It was great.
And nice to see you, really.
Nice to see you too.
And thank you for Inkish for coming here. Okay?
Always. It was great to see you.
Thank you.
So, Now, I said EFI before, that was a lie, because I screwed up the planning, so to speak. I didn't screw up the planning, I screwed up my memory. So now we're going to EFI for the second last live broadcast of today. So from here, from PLASTGrommet with Rafa, thank you very much.
Thank you.